Okay, I'm working on setting myself up a flight using NeoFly as well as SayIntentions. So we'll see how this goes. Switch over to the NeoFly UI over here. And you can see I'm going to do this cargo mission, 640 pounds, 62 miles. Go ahead and add that.
Hello, transporter. Your cargo is waiting for you in the parking. Transporter from dispatch. Loading cargo. Please stand by.
Already got the sim loaded and I'm parked, so I'm going to add my weight.
Transporter from dispatch. The cargo is on board. You are clear to taxi to the runway and take off.
All right, let's just get the airplane configured. All right, we got tower on 126.3. Weather should be at 132.825. Ground 121.8. Approach is 120.15. So let's go ahead and start by getting the weather. Then I'll contact clearance delivery and let them know my intentions before we switch over to ground or taxi, and then they should hand us off to tower. And then when leaving, I'm expecting to get on 120.15 for flight following with them. But let's go ahead and start picking up the weather. So I'm dialing this into my COM2 radio, 132.825. I'm going to go ahead and switch over and then monitor that frequency. All right, I'm getting nothing on the ATIS yet. I'm going to try closing SayIntentions and then reopening it. Let's see what that does. Just confirming that it shows 132.825 as the right frequency. 132.825, that's what I'm tuned into. Not getting anything yet. So I'm going to try to be better about using debug messages on this flight, so maybe we log one for this. Debug, I'm parked at Tuscaloosa Regional, and I'm trying to pick up the ATIS on 132.825. I'm using COM2, and I'm not seeing or hearing anything about it.
Thanks. Debug logged.
Alright, so it's logged, but we can pick it up over here. Alright, well, altimeter, whoop, wrong push to talk button. Alright, the altimeter's set. Let's see what it complains about.
Last aircraft, be advised, nobody is listening on this frequency near your position.
Okay, that's expected. Altimeter set, I'm going to go ahead and start up and then contact ground. Correction, I'll contact clearance delivery.
You're good to go. Contact the tower for clearance.
Just for fun, let's try tuning in the ATIS to COM1 and see if that helps.
.775. Advise on initial contact. You have information Golf. Tuscaloosa Regional Airport information Golf. Time 165 Tree Zulu. Wind calm, visibility 10 plus miles. Sky conditions clear. Temperature 9.4 Celsius. Dew point 5. Altimeter 299er. Visual approach is in use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures, contact clearance delivery on 120.775. Advise on initial contact. You have information Golf. Tuscaloosa Regional Airport information Golf. Time 165 Tree Zulu. Wind calm, visibility 10 plus miles. Sky conditions clear. Temperature 9.4 Celsius. Dew point 5. Altimeter 299.
Okay, that was weird. I couldn't get it to properly stop the ATIS. It did pick up whenever I was on COM2, but it wouldn't stop until I turned COM1 off of that frequency, even though you can see I'm not monitoring it. Debug had some weird issues where ATIS would finally play whenever it was selected in COM1, although whenever I switched off that frequency, COM2 was still dialed in, but not active, and it was still playing. I had to switch that off that frequency as well.
Thanks. Debug logged.
Okay, so let's try contacting clearance delivery on, what was that, 120.775. And let's just review what we're doing first. So we'll be departing Tuscaloosa southeast. I will probably do 5,500 feet. I'm going to assume this MOA is not active, And then we are headed over here to, is this Anniston? No, so Craigfield. So I'll say something like Tuscaloosa clearance, Bonanza 141, Delta Delta, parked. I guess they don't care where I'm parked at, the ground does. Planning on departing to the southeast for Craigfield, and we'll see what they say. Tuscaloosa clearance, Bonanza 141, Delta Delta. I'm parked, planning on going southeast to Craigfield. Would like to pick up flight following, and I'm going to be cruising at 5,500.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta clearance on request. Stand by. Bonanza 1 Delta Delta cleared to Craigfield. Maintain VFR at or below 5,500. Departure frequency 120.15, squawk 6222. Expect runway 4 for departure.
Tuscaloosa clearance, Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, cleared to Craig. Will maintain VFR at or below 5,500. Departure is on 120.15 and squawk 6222. Expecting runway 4. Thanks. Alright, got the
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, read that correct.
got the transponder dialed in. Let's go ahead and set up my autopilot 5,500. And we can go ahead and put the heading bug in for runway 4. So that's a heading of 41. And this is just making sure this is a left traffic field. It is. So I'll probably just make left traffic, and then after the downwind, depart to southeast. All right, so let's go ahead and dial up ground on 121.8. So I'm just going to call this like the east gate or ramp. I can never remember which is which. I think it's ramp. And runway 4 is going to be, which one is it? Yep, down here. So I would expect to go down taxiway Bravo to Bravo 5 to take off. I could probably do Bravo 4, but I also don't know if these taxiways are going to line up with what Flight Simulator has, so we'll just see what it says. Tuscaloosa ground, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta. I'm parked at the east ramp. I'm ready to taxi for VFR.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, taxi to runway 4 via Alpha hold, short of runway 4. Contact tower on 126.3 when ready for departure. Advise you have information Golf.
Tuscaloosa ground, Bonanza 1, Delta Delta, taxi to runway 4 via Alpha. We'll hold short of 4. We'll go to tower on 26.3, and I have Golf. Alright, so they said taxiway Alpha, but I bet it's just a mix-up between what the simulator has and what's in real life. So let's go ahead and start moving out. There's the grass. There's a bus or a van. Okay, so I think this is actually Bravo instead of Alpha, so I think the sim has it right. Tuscaloosa ground, Bonanza 1, Delta Delta. Should I actually take a Bravo down to runway 4? Otherwise I'd have to cross runway 4.
Bonanza 1, Delta Delta, affirmative. Take Bravo to runway 4. Hold short of runway 4.
Turning on to Bravo for Bonanza 1, Delta Delta. Thanks. Debug, whenever I was talking to the ground controller at Tuscaloosa, it wanted me to take taxiway Alpha, but I would have had to cross runway 4 to do so. And so I asked if I could take Bravo instead, and it was fine, but I would have expected it to just give me the Bravo taxiway.
Yeah, thanks. Debug logged.
Tuscaloosa ground, Bonanza 1, Delta Delta. I'm wondering if I could hold short at Bravo 4 and depart from there.
Bonanza 1, Delta Delta, affirmative. Hold short at Bravo 4 for departure from runway 4. Contact tower when ready on 126.3. Advise you have information Golf.
Taking Bravo 4, thanks for Bonanza 1, Delta Delta, and I do have Golf. Debug, requested to take off at Bravo 4 instead of taxiing all the way down to down the Bravo taxiway, and the ground controller asked me to confirm if I had Golf again, even though I've already confirmed that earlier in the flight.
Yeah, thanks. Debug logged.
Getting a lot of debug messages in this one. Okay, tower. This says. Okay, hold on. What did it say? Yes, 26.3. Tuscaloosa Tower, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta. Holding short of runway 4 at Bravo 4, ready for VFR departure to the southeast.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, runway 4, line up and wait.
Lining up and wait for Bonanza 1 Delta Delta. It does seem weird to line up and wait whenever I enter the runway, not at the end.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, winds calm. Runway 04 cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 4 for Bonanza 1 Delta Delta. Thanks, have a good day.
Pilot from dispatch. Fly safe.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, contact departure on 120.15.
Going departure 120.15, thanks. Tuscaloosa departure, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta, departing Tuscaloosa for planning on heading down to the southeast. That was horrible.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, radar contact over Tuscaloosa Regional at 1,200 feet.
Alright, let's go ahead and start climbing out. probably could have just turned right and just immediately started climbing up to 2,500. So I think a better radio call would have been, it looks like it's actually Atlanta approach. It doesn't tell me, okay, there's a few things going on in my head. One, whenever it tells me contact, what did it say? It said, well, I actually don't see the message in the log where it told me to go to departure, but I would have liked it to say like Atlanta departure or wherever, but it didn't.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, contact Atlanta departure on 125.5.
Okay, that's funny. Going to Atlanta departure on 121.5 for Bonanza 1 Delta Delta. So it was actually 125.5. I said 121.5. And it didn't correct me. But I also switched frequencies over pretty quick. I did switch back, but it still hadn't said anything. Atlanta departure, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta, 4,000, climbing to 5,500.
Last aircraft, be advised nobody is listening on this frequency near your position.
So maybe it was 121.5, even though the log says 125.5. Let's take a look at the chart. I don't know, let's just go ahead and go to 121.5. Atlanta departure, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta, 5,300, climbing to 5,500.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, this is Guard. Contact Atlanta departure on 125.5.
So I should be in 125.5. Let's try this again. Atlanta departure, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta, with you at 5,500.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, roger.
Debug, I tuned to 125.5 earlier and gave an update on my position. They told me to contact that controller, and then it told me that no one was listening on this frequency.
Thanks. Debug logged.
My guess is I was right at like the border. Let's take a look at the map. The chart, not the map. mean, right here is the difference between Memphis and Atlanta, so maybe I was out over here. I didn't think I was, though. Okay, so just looking at the SayIntentions UI, it says I'm still in departure, even though I would call this maybe cruise. I do have flight following. I did tell them a heading of 5,500. Right now it says NA, or not heading, but altitude. Heading, I didn't. I can ask for vectors. I guess that would maybe show a sign heading. It's got the destination and transponder correct, and it does say that they have a radar contact on me. Let's have some fun and request a higher altitude. Then approach Bonanza 141 Delta Delta. I'm at 5,500, requesting 7,500. Well, I don't need to request, I can just say I'm going to that.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, climb and maintain 7,500.
Go ahead to 7,500 for Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, thank you. I wonder if my time has messed up in the simulator because it seems awfully dark. Okay, it was. I figured I was just west, but it's not the right time for it to be that dark. So this is nicer. can go ahead and monitor guard 121.5. Go ahead and use the GPS, plug in our destination in there. I was heading mostly in the right direction. Alright, so let's start preparing for arrival, since right now we'd be 9.5 minutes away. Airport elevation 166 feet, so I'd say pattern altitude is 1,200 feet. Try to pick up the weather, 119.15. Miles away, so I should be able to pick it up from here. So I got that tuned into COM2. Debug, still having some problems picking up the ATIS. I'm trying to pick it up for Craig Field on 109.150. I have that dialed in on COM2, and COM2 is active, and I'm not seeing anything. I don't want to do COM1 if I'm still in contact with the controller.
Thanks. Debug logged.
We can try COM1 though. Alright, not picking up anything there. It does say 119.15. We can even try plugging that into the SayIntentions. Maybe we ask the sim what it should be. Atlanta approach, Bonanza 1 Delta Delta. Trying to pick up the ATIS for Craig Field. Can you let me know what that frequency is, or at least give me the weather? I'm going to go ahead and
Bonanza
start
1 Delta Delta ATIS for Craig Field is on 119.15. Current weather at Craig Field, winds 245 at tree 7, visibility 10, sky clear. Altimeter tree 002.
Not picking up the ATIS. Atlanta approach, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta. Didn't get the ATIS, so thanks for that weather. I'm going to go ahead and start my descent into Craig Field now. Thanks. I would expect them to transition me over to their tower pretty soon.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, roger. Descend at your discretion. Report established on final approach for runway tree at Craig Field. Contact Craig Tower on 120.85 when inbound.
Line approach, Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, roger. Descending now. I will contact, I'm going to go ahead and head over to Craig Field on 120.85 now. Thank you.
Antac, you have information November. Craig Field information November. Time 1740 Zulu. Windcom visibility 10 plus miles.
So that pulled up on COM2, but I was 12 miles away. I should be able to get it sooner. Craig Tower, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta is 12 miles to the north, inbound to land. I never switched over. That's my problem. I'm still talking to Atlanta approach. Craig Field, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta at 5,000 feet to the north, 10 miles out, inbound to land. Debug, contacted Craig Tower, and not getting any response when I said that I was inbound.
Thanks. Debug logged.
Craig Tower, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta, 6 miles out, 3,400, inbound to land. They said expect runway 33.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, enter left downwind for runway tree. Report midfield downwind.
Craig Tower, Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, entering left downwind for runway 33. Will report midfield. Thanks. Close for a downwind leg, but I am at field sol report. Craig Tower, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta, midfield, downwind, runway 33. See that it actually said that I said that to them. Craig Tower, Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, turning left base for runway 33.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, roger. Continue report final for runway tree. Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, winds 247 at 7. Runway tree cleared to land.
Clear to land runway 33 for Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, turning final now, 3 mile final. I mean, it should know how far I am. It's got me. Gear down, flaps down, fullest tank, lights on, should be good to go. Mixture full rich, prop full.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, winds 245 at 4, runway tree cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 33. Thought I said that already for Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, thank you. Probably going to pull over to the left whenever I land.
You greased that landing, Ace. Taxi to parking and shut down your engine.
I don't know if this is really a taxiway. I guess I should have pulled off the other way. So those buildings over there, figured that would be good, but guess not. Okay, now I can exit landing mode. So landing lights off, strobe off. Let's go ahead and switch over to ground. Craig ground, Bonanza 141 Delta Delta, clear of runway 33, would like taxi to parking. So still not getting anything on ground. Let's see, 121675, 121675, that's what I've tuned in. The SayIntentions UI is still spinning. Let's go ahead and clear that last command and just do a radio check. Craig Tower, Craig ground, Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, radio check.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, loud and clear.
Okay, and now we're seeing, it says taxi to parking via Bravo. It didn't say that before. Craig ground, Bonanza 1 Delta Delta. I believe that you said that I could taxi to parking via Bravo, so I'm going to head over there now. Thanks. Hey, look at that. It is Bravo.
Bonanza 1 Delta Delta, taxi to parking via Bravo.
Debug, I requested taxi instructions after I landed, and the UI never said that I had any instructions, so I did a radio check. Once the radio check came back, you could see in the text log that they did try to say taxi to parking. So then I proceeded to taxi, let them know I was doing so, and then whenever I was almost parked, it again told me to taxi to Bravo.
debug logged.
All right, so hopefully those debug logs were helpful. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down, get my reward for my mission.
Stand by, pilot. Cargo unloading. Pilot, that's all the cargo removed from the aircraft. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, I'm shutting it down.
You are clear to start your engine.
Thanks for watching.